In this video, we will learn about comparable and comparator interfaces in Java. Why do we need to implement these interfaces with practical and live justification? How to implement and use them? What are the differences between these? Many interview questions are framed around these two interfaces, and after watching this video carefully, you will gain deep knowledge about their concept. Let's say we have our own class student, which has two fields and a constructor which accepts these field values. I have a group of students with different roll numbers and names. Now let's say I want to sort them in increasing order of roll numbers. There is one way that I create a list of these objects using Arrays.asList method and sort it using Collections.sort method. We have an error. It says the method sort in the type collections is not applicable for the arguments list of student. This means that sort method will only sort list of those elements which implement comparable. If you look at the source code of sort, it accepts a list with elements of type T. And what is T? The class of objects in the list, which can be a student, employee, animal, etc. And this says that T must extend comparable. That is, it must implement comparable. So we cannot use collections.sort. Second approach is that we create an array, add these students to this array, and sort array using arrays.sort method. There is no compiler error. Hopefully now we can sort the students. Let's run this. This fails, and the error reason is a class cast exception with a message that elements of student class cannot be cast to comparable. This means that somewhere it is trying to cast student objects to comparable. Let's dig inside sort method. Look, here it is, casting each array element to a comparable. This means that in order to sort a collection of custom classes using inbuilt methods, the class must implement comparable interface. You might have used collections.sort many times without implementing comparable yourself. But that would be mostly on a list or array of type string or integers. That works because these classes also implement comparable. Look here. Now let's move to the second part, how to implement comparable and use it. Simply go to the student class and add implements comparable in its definition. As soon as you implement comparable, it will ask you to implement its compare to method. Compare to defines the criteria on which you want to sort objects. It returns an integer with three possible values. -1 if this object is lesser than the argument object according to the sorting criteria that we will define in compare to, 0 if both objects are equal, and 1 if this object is greater than the argument object. For example, we want to sort on the basis of roll number, so this dot roll number minus the roll number of argument object. Since this is an object type, we need to cast it to student because object class does not have roll number field. Another way is to add a type to comparable inside angular brackets. As soon as you change the type of comparable, you also need to change the type of this argument. Now, we don't need this casting. This is generics and we will cover it in coming videos. We can do this because comparable is a generic interface. Let's run the program. There is no error. To check if it is actually sorting the array, let's print the array before and after sorting. Run it. This output is not meaningful since it is printing hash code of the objects, and therefore we need to override toString method in student class. You can write your own toString representation or generate it automatically. Go to the class, right click, go to source and click generate toString. Select the fields that you want to include. ToString is generated. Run the program again. It prints the meaningful objects now, and the objects are sorted in increasing order of roll numbers. If you want to sort the array in decreasing order of roll numbers, then simply reverse these operands. To sort the objects in alphabetical order of name, call compare to method on name fields. You can directly call compare to because string class implements comparable and it provides the implementation of compare to that contains the sorting logic on two string values. Run the program again. Look, the elements are sorted in alphabetical order. Likewise, you can now also use collections.sort method if you have a list of objects. Let's uncomment this and comment out arrays.sort. Print list of students. Move this print statement up before sort. Run it. Works. The list is sorted in increasing order of names. That is all on comparable interface. In the coming part of this video, we will explore comparator interface and how to use it to sort list and array using same example along with the differences between the two. See you in the next one.